So what exactly is Sing Sing about? Basically, it follows a guy named Divine G inside the Sing Sing prison facility, and he headlines and runs this like artistic poetry club for him and the other prisoners to get involved in. What they do in here is they do plays and write stuff and just try to recapture their humanity, parts of the human element that would be lost if you were locked up in a very high security, dangerous prison like Sing Sing. Apparently this is based on a true story, but it follows him and the other prisoners in his little subsection group as they're trying to learn poetry, recapture themselves, just express themselves through art, become vulnerable, obviously something that would be way out there in the form of a prison. And all while this is happening, a new guy joins their group actually called Divine I, and he's kind of the rough guy around the edges. Obviously, he has trouble expressing himself. He doesn't like to be vulnerable. He's very tough. He's one of the people who's kind of still committing crimes inside the prison, but they like his energy and they try to recruit him to join this club they have going on. And he has to kind of overcome the fact that he's being vulnerable here, expressing himself, connecting to the other men here. Again, something that will be lost in this prison. Again, this is a movie we've probably seen 50 to 100 times made. This is just a very well done version of it. A movie that makes you feel good, restores your humanity a little bit. This movie is all about expression and what it means to have our humanity, express ourselves, be truthful with ourselves, how we feel, expressing that. Because Divine G, the guy who headlines this club, he's like the guy who's trying to help everybody out while also battling his internal struggles because he's been wrongfully imprisoned. So as much as he's trying to kind of practice what he preaches with the others, he's kind of struggling with the fact that he shouldn't be here in the first place, but he's also trying to be a good role model for these people up until the point he has to face his own moral dilemmas. But yeah, what makes this movie so special in my opinion is sometimes when you have a story like this, it feels like a story that was written solely for the fact that they wanted to make like big Oscar buzz. They wanted to make a profound movie, more so than actually knowing how to do that and portray the story in an authentic way. I think this movie, because of the acting, the environment, the small scale of the cast, how important this message is, really tackles and nails the subject material of what it means to be human. Again, being locked up in a prison with a bunch of dangerous people, having made major mistakes. A lot of people in society, I feel like, kind of deem prisoners as irredeemable. They feel like they just need to be punished more than rehabilitated. And I think this movie does capture the second part of imprisonment, which was always supposed to be containment and rehabilitation. This movie is all about overcoming our struggles, rehabilitating into a productive member of society. And this movie doesn't shy away from the fact that we are all flawed, especially prisoners, hence the reason they are actually incarcerated to begin with. And I think that's the hardest thing to accept when it comes to rehabilitation, that a person who has been flawed is actually trying to change. And it could just be me, but I found this entire movie to be very feel good. Like, it just made me feel good about society and what it means to improve, give people second chances. Kind of over the top for some people. They will not connect with this message at all just because of the way we view prisoners in the US. But for me, even if it is a little bit hammed up, it makes me feel good about the fact that this could actually happen again. It's inspired by a true story. As for our lead, Colman Domingo, as everything I've ever seen him in, absolutely fantastic in the lead in this. He sells you on the fact that this is a guy who is really trying to headlight the good in other people. And I really think it takes a special performance to make you connect to his character because, again, he is flawed himself. And he's a person, even though he's trying to set this message for other people, really has to deal with the fact that he's not really got all of his own stuff figured out, which I like for main characters. I don't really like when a main character is so perfect they almost feel unrealistic. So the whole thing makes him very believable to me, and it makes him just feel like a more realistic and authentic character than a lot of these movies that try to go for this grandiose message, but they just feel fake. This movie never felt fake to me. And this movie's also by A24, and I feel like they're kind of flying the coop a little bit. Recently, they're trying to branch out a bit too much. This is when they're at their best, just trying to tell a very complex and layered and kind of deep drama story, while also honing it in, making it very small scale, very good acting, relatable characters, believable cast and crew, just very small. But as the movie gets going, Divine G, you start to figure out he doesn't have it all figured out. He's struggling with his own appeal process, the guilt of being stuck in this prison while being wrongfully imprisoned. He's also using the time after recruiting Divine I to kind of rehabilitate him as a person inside the prison and outside the prison through the appeal process. Because Divine I, let's face it, he's on the path of being a career criminal. He does not care about reformation. He's in here throwing his weight around, using his power, committing crimes, trying to make money. He has given up on the system. He feels wrongfully imprisoned as well, even though as we find out he actually committed his crime. But it's through the power of this group and connecting as humans and regaining our humanity that he starts to trust Divine G's process of these appeals. He starts trying to better himself for when he's out and he can meet his son and his daughter and watch them grow. He tells this sad story about how his son's also in prison. And the most enjoyable and probably powerful part of this film is watching his character's transformation from this hardened thug who kind of just has nothing nothing going for him, he's given up on the system, to a guy who eventually goes on to kind of headline this group and keep the others in line. He believes in the system so much now, he's kind of become a leader to these other men who are struggling. It's kind of hard to explain unless you've seen the film, because again, this sounds very generic, like a movie we've seen made 100 times. It's just done so well. Maybe even getting away from the movie a little bit, I think this movie hit me so much, and I just thought it was such a transformative movie, because even look at my YouTube channel. I'm on here talking to you guys. I'm connecting. I'm expressing myself. I think that is just such a powerful thing for human beings to do. I don't think enough people kind of enjoy that or relate to it or even take advantage of it. I think a lot of people are kind of scared to express themselves. And I think this movie does such a good job of highlighting that everybody kind of has something to share, whether it's about their personality, it's about their struggles, it's just about connection. That is what's so beautiful about life, in my opinion, is just the ability to create and express ourselves through art and other people and just shared experiences that really makes life worth living and very enjoyable, having people to share it with. And I think this movie shows that even in the darkest times when it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, you can be rehabilitated, you can be reformed, and you can find connections and express yourself and just find the reason to go on. So I don't have too much to say about this film. I just wanted to say this was the first time I've ever watched it. I know it had a lot of buzz going on, and I truly believe it. I think this movie should have won the Oscar. Has absolutely awesome performances, especially by our lead, Colman Domingo. It's heartwarming, it makes you feel good, it kind of restores your faith in humanity. But overall, guys, I had a great time with Sing Sing. If you have not gotten around to seeing it, I recommend you check it out. It's worth buying on Blu-ray. So if any of you guys got around to seeing Sing Sing last year, comment down below, let me know what you thought. As always, like the video, comment, subscribe down below. All of that really helps the channel, but I will see you guys in the next movie review. Peace!